Do you ever wonder what kind of watch a Formula One team would wear? Well, look no further. Today we have the Pilot's Watch Chronograph 41 edition Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team watch by IWC. This is an incredibly colorful chronograph with an in-house automatic movement, some bright features of color, great materials, and we'll go over all of that in full detail in this full-length review. So I welcome you to On the Wrist, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So this watch was a special release to celebrate the decade-long partnership between IWC and the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team and was unveiled in May of 2022. This watch was worn by all of the team members during that race. The engineers, mechanics, the drivers, everyone had this watch. While this is not a limited edition watch and is in regular production, it does have special significance for the IWC Mercedes-AMG Petronas partnership and is definitely an exciting addition to their lineup. Talking about the design details, so of course most predominantly featured is the Petronas green. This looks almost like a tealish hue to me, but it stands out so nicely and actually makes for a very legible set of dial and text that's on the face. The case is a classic chronograph case shape with a titanium case with what looks like a bit of a bead blasted finish, and this is very much in line with Formula One racing where titanium is a very strong and light material, so definitely an appropriate choice for this watch. The dial is very classic IWC style with the beautiful hour and minute hands, and all the subdials include that iconic IWC style. This watch not only has the chronograph function but also has the day of the week and day of the month complication. And if we come and flip it over the back and look under the hood, you'll see this beautiful in-house IWC manufactured movement. You can just see the crazy amount of finishing here. A custom rotor, pretty much any kind of custom finishing you could think is on this movement. There's also some nice choice of different colors of material for some of the gears and the balance wheel. The jewels are very prominent, and there's even that Petronas green text around the outside of the exhibition back. The movement feels very, very smooth as I move it around. It is a stunning looking movement and so appropriate that for a Formula One themed watch, it is such a beautiful movement and you can look under the hood and see it. There are the quick change straps. That what's really interesting about these is you press down on this button and it lets you remove the strap, but the spring bar stays put, so there's no messy trying to move the spring bar in and out, which could potentially scratch the watch. I love when brands do this, incorporate these quality of life features on their watches, so hats off to IWC. If we look at the strap itself, I love this texture that it has on the bottom, very easy to grab your wrist, and I like that it also tapers ever so slightly from where it meets the watch down about 2 millimeters to slightly thinner at the clasp. Let's now talk about the technical specs. I'll pull up the technical specs on the left. So the diameter is 41 millimeters with a thickness of 14.5 millimeters. The case is a titanium case. Crystal is a sapphire front and back with anti-reflective coating. Water resistance is 10 bars, and the movement, as we've talked about, is the in-house 69385 caliber with a 46-hour power reserve, and this watch features the quick change straps by IWC. There is loom on the hour and minutes hands as well as at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions around the dial. I do think this is a bit of a missed opportunity here. With the teal coloring, I think they could have made this dial glow by being a little more liberal with their application of loom. Let's get a couple shots on the wrist. So here we have it on my 7.5-inch wrist. I think the 41 millimeter diameter is one of my favorite sizes on this wrist. Sits very comfortably, and just look at that. The color pops so nicely. I'm actually shocked at how legible this dial is despite having so much information. The strap taper is quite nice, and you can see that I'm about halfway through the strap, so plenty of size either above or below. Stands out really nicely, and you can this is definitely a watch you'll be able to see across the room because of the color. A very distinct look, and I am loving it. I'm here once again at Royal Jewelers in Andover, Massachusetts. They've been kind enough to let me film using one of their watches. Royal Jewelers carries brands like Cartier, Breguet, Panerai, IWC, Grand Seiko, Accuchon, Ulysses Nardin, and even some smaller brands like Norcane and Zodiac. Royal Jewelers is where I purchased my Oris Big Crown Pointer Date, as well as my Tudor Black Bay 58. Royal Jewelers has an extensive pre-owned selection, and I highly recommend you check them out if you're in the Massachusetts area. Link to their website in the description. So let's talk MSRP. So MSRP of this watch as of November 2023 is $8,350. This does come with a second strap shown on screen, and this is obviously a luxury watch. IWC being a luxury brand, this is par for the course of their sort of price point for this type of watch. It's got some unique things with the colorful dial, the link to the Formula One racing team, and a really excellent point about this watch is it has the IWC manufactured movement, which is beautifully displayed on the back. This is clearly a sporty watch, so one thing that's maybe a negative for some people is it's probably less flexible as a watch with the strong colors from the Patron green that won't match with every outfit. But I think the people who are interested in buying this watch are looking for a sporty, high-end luxury watch. And if you are, I think this checks all the boxes. It's nice to see IWC incorporating some of the quick change strap features that many luxury brands aren't doing, so that's a definite plus for IWC. In conclusion, I'm a huge fan of the colors of this watch. I like the quick change features, and overall, I think this is an incredibly fun watch, and certainly something that's very sporty and also incredibly high-end. But let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about this watch? Do you like the color? Is this something you can see yourself wearing? I'd love to hear what you have to say. That's all for me today. This has been On The Wrist. Thank you for watching.